Good morning. I'd like to call to order the meeting of Hawaii State Ethics Commission. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, 2026, and the time is 9 a.m. I am the Commission Acting Chair, Robert Hong. Commissioners, please indicate your presence when your name is called, and if you are participating remotely, state whether anyone else is present with you at your remote location. I think we'll start with Commissioner Thielen. Are you present? And is there anyone with you?
Here, and I'm alone except for my rescue dog.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Becker and Commissioner Gray and myself are all present in the room. And, I'll leave the next comment to Director Harris.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Executive Director Harris, and I'm present in the conference room with our Administrative Assistant, Melissa Vamboros. Joining remotely are Compliance Director Chang, Enforcement Director Campbell, Staff Attorneys Neufer, Yamanuha, and Yi, Investigator Elster, and Computer Specialist Louis. Even though this is an in-person meeting, please be aware that all meeting participants are being recorded on the digital record of this Zoom meeting, which will be posted to our website and used to create our official minutes. Your continued participation is your implied consent to be part of the public record of this event. If you do not wish to be part of the public record, you should exit this meeting now. For any members of the public who may be joining us remotely, if the Commission's video conference connection is lost during the meeting, we will recess the meeting and reconvene after our connection is restored. Please check the Commission's website, ethics.hawaii.gov, for information about reconnecting to the meeting. If the meetings continue to a later date or terminated, information about this will be posted on our website. Are there any members of the public joining us who would like to identify themselves at this time?
Aloha, Chair and members of the Ethics Commission. Gregory Masakian by Zoom.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, the first item is discussion of possible actions regarding elections of commissioner officers. Our administrative rules require us to elect officers at the beginning of each year. In the past, we've elected to defer this decision until July when the new commissioners are appointed. Due to Chair Fong's resignation from the commission, we may choose to elect the new chairperson or vice chair or defer the matter until the new members are appointed by the governor. So I will defer to the commissioners to discuss options for electing officers and leaders. Any strong feeling?
Job.
Oh, thank you. Does any?
Continue.
I'd love to continue. It'll be hard to replace Chair Fong, who is Yeoman's job over the years. Does any member of the public wish to testify on this item? If not, we'll move to item 2, considerations and approval of the minutes of the April 15th, 2026 meeting. Is anyone not on the next one?
I think probably need to have a little discussion on that. Is it?
Sorry, can you?
No, we're just going to proceed with an applicant chair until.
It is totally up to the commission. I don't think there's anything in the admin rules that require you. I guess the additional question would be is whether or not you want to elect a new vice chair. You know,
Might as well, right?
I think
Because we could also just, if you don't want to keep going, just thumbs it up.
Sure.
Like nominate Robert and Cynthia. But
Commissioner Thielen,
Yes.
Would you be interested in serving as vice chair?
Vice chair would be fine.
Chair, as acting chair, would you like to ask for motion?
Okay. Motion as a motion to approve the nominees of chair and vice chair, myself and Commissioner Thielen.
I so moved.
second.
Okay, that's only 2 of them. because I think it would be inappropriate for us to vote on ourselves. So, I guess that passes. Uh,
Do you want to just actually ask for a voice? vote?
okay, should,
Voice vote, all those,
have to work for yourself, otherwise it won't pass.
we do need a quorum, but I think you just do a voice vote.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Commissioner Gray and Commissioner Becker have approved this. Commissioner Thielen? have you
Okay.
approved it?
Yeah.
Okay, and I approved it, so I guess that's unanimous. We stay on until we decide if there's a reappointments coming to us. Okay. Considerations for approval of the April 15th, 2026 meeting. Any commissioners have comments or corrections to the minutes? Does any member of the public
yes.
wish? Yes,
Chair, I think there was one section where my name was misspelled. And I'm sorry, I don't have the note in front of me as to where it was. But if they could just check I before E, except after C.
for the sound of the.
That's the rule. And if we could just get that one change, it's in the minutes of the regular meeting.
We can make that check, and apologies for that mistake.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other corrections to the minutes? May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 15th, 2026 outstanding meeting? Yeah, you're not supposed to do it. Oh. Would you second the
Second,
motion? Okay, thank you. Okay, roll call voice, vote, Commissioner Thielen,
aye.
Commissioner Becker is declines, Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and acting chair votes aye. We'd like to move on to recognition of Chair Wesley Fong for his 8 years of distinguished service on the Hawaii State Ethics Commission. I'll defer this to Mr. Harris.
We do have former chair with us, Wes. If you don't mind standing up and giving a lay.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Oh, thank you. Welcome aboard again.
Thank you.
In addition, I'd like to briefly read off a resolution. I suspect some of the language you may have heard before, but the Hawaii State Ethics Commission recognizes individuals who have made significant contributions to promoting ethics in government. And Wesley Fong has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to public service and has made significant contributions to promoting the highest ethical standards in government. And we recognize Wesley Fong for his dedicated service to the state of Hawaii and for his contribution to ethics, starting as a member of the Hawaii State's Ethics Commission in July 2018, and then serving to June 2021, then serving as vice chair from July 2021 to June 2022, and then chair from July 2022 to April 2026. So therefore, it is resolved, the Hawaii State Ethics Commission hereby commends Wesley Fong for his outstanding dedication, leadership, and contributions to the state of Hawaii and to ethics in government. And further resolved that the Ethics Commission extends to Wesley Fong its warmest aloha, deepest appreciation, and best wishes. In addition, we have this beautiful bowl with contributions from all of the Ethics Commission. We'd like to give this to you in recognition of your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Actually, I want to thank you very much for this certificate and also their memento. You know, it's been a real pleasure and privilege working with such dedicated, not only commissioners, but also staff. And more so, I want to thank Robert for helping me do my job as the chair. You know, thinking back 8 years, there are a few things that kind of stick in my mind. First of all, I'm just so happy that the O'Connor case finally is over after 8 years. And then we went all the way to the Supreme Court and won. I'm also happy that we increased the fine from a minimum of $1,000 to $5,000. And also helped the judiciary get in line with ethics in regards to policing themselves. I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get the nepotism bill passed in the legislature. We got it through the Senate, and they tried 2 times. I know my champion in the Senate tried to get it through the House, but it didn't. But you know, bottom line is, in a great years, I just believe that the cornerstone of good government is ethics. And without ethics, there's just not good government and honest government. And I want to congratulate all of you, and I wish you the best of luck in continuing your great job and actually preserving the integrity of our state government. Because without all of you, I don't know what it would be in regards to state government and ethics. So you hold the banner, you hold the gavel, and continue on with a great job. So thank you very much.
You.
Thank you. Oh, one thing. I am really going to miss the very cold global conferences. So I hope you folks enjoy again the winter cold conferences in the coldest part of the United States. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Wes.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, I'm going to defer the director's report to Mr. Harris.
Thank you. If I can ask Bonita to cover education and disclosures.
Good morning, commissioners. For financial disclosures, we're approaching the annual disclosure deadline for June 1. So we're receiving a lot of inquiries and assistance and filers in their filing their annual disclosures. We have also are in the process of getting the board updates with the various board administrators for the new board filers who will be filing when they start their terms in July. Because this is election year, we're also assisting with state candidates running for a state elected office. So we've been periodically monitoring the Office of Elections website to download the list of candidate filers and notifying candidates accordingly. So that deadline will be approaching in June 12th, I believe it is. So there's currently a lot of activity happening regarding disclosures. In terms of the e-filing system, we're in the process of working on the updates to the lobbying e-filing forms to implement the new reporting requirements for the procurement lobbying requirement that takes effect January 1, 2027. So there'll be a new section on the form. We're going to probably have a section for the administrative role lobbying and then a new section on procurement related lobbying. And then the current section has the lobbying bill reporting. So filers who go onto the system, they'll see the different sections and make it easier to kind of separate out the different types of lobbying activities that happen at the state level. If there are any questions, I'll be glad to answer it.
I think so. No questions?
Thank you.
I could turn it over to Key for the guidance and assignment statistics.
Great. Yeah, so pretty normal month for us in April. 26 complaints open, 28 closed. For the year, 127 open, 119 closed. So generally, processing and closing cases as they come in. We're on track for an ordinary year, but interested to see what will happen with the new updates to the complaint form, seeing whether or not those totals decrease or not. So that's something we're paying attention to. And we've hammered out new policy on AODs and hammered out how the advanced stats are going to look going forward. So in July, we should have the advanced stats with everything up to date for you.
Thank you.
If I can add just a bit more color on that, I think we are trying to provide more granularity, particularly with the attorney of the day inquiries, which are essentially people asking for ethics guidance. We're able to try to see if there's any commonality over the types of questions being asked, the areas of the questions being asked, et cetera, and then provide as much public transparency about that as possible. The effort's obviously a bit of a tightrope walking exercise. We don't want to make the forms so complicated and or difficult. Let's pause here because I think we may have lost our connection. We get Patrick.
Recess.
Yeah, I've absolutely. Chair, if you don't mind doing a recess.
Okay. Could we recess because of technical difficulties with video conferencing?
Why we read the technical difficulty language at the beginning.
Password. Strange that it
Robert,
Yes.
yeah, it's agenda item 6
It's right there.
where the
Okay.
where the misspelling is.
Okay, thank you. Apologies, we had lost the screen briefly. We weren't aware that we were still streaming. So, Chair, if you want to convene the meeting back again, we can proceed.
Okay, we'll reconvene the meeting at this time. That we resolve the case with our video conferencing.
So I was just giving the update on on the assignment statistics. We are trying to revise the form. So we're looking at the next report, which we do quarterly. You'll see a bit more granularity in the during the day inquiries.
Oh, right.
I have a question about the attorney of the day. We see commonalities that could be addressed in training.
So each attorney of the day inquiry comes in and it is usually processed by a front office person who will input the basic information, who's inquiring, et cetera, and sort of a short summary of the issue. And then it's given to an attorney who then handles it. And so one attorney probably doesn't have full visibility of all the inquiries coming in. And so part of the idea of trying to get more granularity in the forms is to help us be able to see, are there common issues? So if we see a lot of conflict of interest inquiries, that is useful to say, these are things we need to talk about more. Mm-hmm. We have seen already a lot of inquiries, for example, about gifts, right? And that is a common, so that's something we can focus more on. And we've recently developed a video, for example, and other things we can use in our training to try to hit those more. But that is fully why we're trying to do this, as well as provide the public some level of insight as to what we're doing without revealing the confidentiality of those individual inquiries, because again, we want to encourage people to talk to us.
Thank you. Well, moving on, item 5 is the discussion of media reports concerning ethics for ethics initiatives the last meeting. And I'll ask Mr. Harris to present.
Thank you, Chair. This is a standing agenda item that was developed at the request of Commissioner Thielen. We had talked to the Office of Information Practice in developing this. However, as the publication of this agenda, there was a complaint filed with the Office of Information Practice indicating that not enough detail was provided in this agenda item to give members of the public information about what would be discussed. And they referenced a recent decision about standing agenda items. We had some back and forth with the Office of Information Practice in a very friendly and civil way. asking if there was drawing of prior advice about how this was phrased. The long or the short version of a long discussion, I think, is that they recommended that this item be skipped. And if we want to talk about media reports, we should specifically identify them in the agenda itself by title so members of the public can see them. And if there's something that comes out as of the agenda publication notice, the commissioners can vote to add it to the agenda as long as 3/4 of the commissioners vote to add it to the agenda for discussion. I will talk to the chair sort of to get input on how to handle this on a moving forward basis. My tentative recommendation probably is not to try to write down every single media report on here because there are issues. Some of them are behind paywalls, maybe difficult for the members of the public to access, et cetera. But rather to invite any commissioner, if there's a news story or something they think should be raised, we can easily add that to the agenda at the time of publication of the agenda. And or we can always, and if it's an emergency, vote to add it to the agenda itself as need be. But again, I'm open to input from any commissioner, and I'll probably talk to chair as far as how to do this for next agenda. But if anybody has thoughts, please feel free to reach out.
But those for discussion on that meeting day, not for future meeting days, all right?
Correct. So yeah, as sort of an emergency item, it's a topic of pressing immediate, concern. It can be added. Or in addition, if it's just sort of a normal agenda item, it can just be added for future discussions as well.
Any other comments? Oh, okay. We'll move on to 2026 legislature. Yes.
If I could, just to make one comment on that agenda item. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Just very briefly. This is close to heart. I'm not the one that raised the concern to OIP, but I have in the past raised many concerns to OIP regarding one of the neighborhood boards I used to serve on, which frequently violates the Sunshine Law with their agenda items not being sufficient to notify the public, including a recent opinion they just gave. My suggestion on this is, in looking at it, I think it was on the agenda last time, is maybe when you're saying the discussion, if it's an open discussion where you want the public to bring in some opportunity to speak on things that they're seeing, just phrase it that way. But if it's a discussion where you've got some specific media reports, then I would actually refer to those media reports individually and just put, such and such report from Civil Beat on this date that will be discussed. And that would then give the public an opportunity to chime in on those. But if you want to leave it open, I think the way to phrase it for the public to be able to bring it in is just say public's opportunity to raise concerns or discuss concerns of media reports they've seen in the past either 30 days or whatever, if you leave it unlimited. So that's just my suggestion.
Thank you for the suggestion. And we can discuss this further and how we can implement it. Any other comments? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to section 6, legislation matters of 2026.
Thank you, Chair. As you may recall, this commission asked that 5 bills be introduced to the legislature. We currently have one of those bills before the governor, which is a bill that Commissioner Thielen was a champion, advocate, spearheader, et cetera, and deserves a lot of credit for helping move this bill to where it is today. And so I do want to take a second to note that. And this bill, just for the public, is Senate Bill 2247, which prohibits any executive branch employee who is nominated or appointed by the governor to a compensated position subject to confirmation by the Senate, and who exercises authority or significant influence over solicitation, award, or administration of state contracts from engaging in campaign fundraising, which would include attending a fundraiser. It is before the governor, and the governor did ask for our input on the bill. We did provide comments, and I did indicate that if the governor was open to having a public signing, that Commissioner Thielen especially should be invited to attend and participate. So that is before the governor for consideration. I will note that in addition to the bills that we submitted in, and I think former Chair Fong noted the nepotism bill. Currently, nepotism law applies to the executive branch, but does not apply to the judicial or legislative branches. And we had asked the legislature to essentially extend it to the legislature and to the judiciary. I think we always knew that that was going to be a long shot, but it was important for the discussion to be had publicly and to push the issue. But again, maybe not surprisingly, that bill did not move. There are two bills on increasing the public financial disclosures that would have included executive directors, including myself, and would have included a few new boards and commissions that have significant fiduciary oversight, essentially control over millions of dollars of taxpayer money that we've recommended should be filing public financial disclosures. That bill made it all the way up to conference committee. However, House leadership did not appoint conferees for that bill, and therefore it died. Those two bills. I'm in discussions with folks in the House. I think there is concern about the public financial disclosure and essentially sort of a general opposition to public financial disclosures. I think those are important conversations to continue to have. I would recommend that these bills be reintroduced again next year. And I will maybe do a bit of mea culpa that the House leadership hadn't been engaged more. In the past, I think they have been very supportive of a lot of the ethics measures and, perhaps should have been touched more or interacted with more this year. And so it's something we certainly should prioritize for next year. The final bill involves post-employment and pre-employment restrictions. The pre-employment restrictions would have been new, follows several other cities and international governments, and national, federal, on the federal level, but we would have been one of the first states to introduce a pre-employment restriction. That actually wasn't a point of contention. The point of contention was that we would have expanded the post-employment restrictions to cover permanent employees of the governor's office, which would include their policy advisors. And I think there was some opposition to that. Again, I would reemphasize it's probably a good bill to reintroduce again next year, because that is squarely who post-employment restrictions should cover. For restricting, for example, legislators from post-employment interactions, lobbying before the legislature. The same policy advisors that lobby on those bills for the governor potentially should also similarly be restricted. So it's common in my experience that it takes several years for bills to pass. Typically, because you have to build up the enthusiasm for them, the knowledge, the understanding, and sort of the acceptance that yes, the status quo needs to change. We've been very fortunate the past 3 years or so where all of our bills have passed, I think, 100%. So this is probably more a typical experience for an agency that have just one or two bills pass. But again, I don't think it means we should stop pushing them, and we'll talk about this again in the future. Happy to answer any questions that the commissioners have, and we can turn it over to the public as well.
The Senate version was including all of the provisions that we wanted.
The bill that is before the governor, correct. And it would go into effect immediately upon approval.
Well, we'll continue to look forward to its progress.
I think there's a member of the public that's a question.
Yes, please.
Thank you again, Greg Masakian. Just a question and then a comment. For these bills, I'm assuming that this is a group of bills that was selected by the Ethics Commission to track and discuss through the legislative session. So that's my first question, and that will lead me to my comment. Is that a correct assumption?
If you don't mind, Chair, if I can answer that.
Sure.
These are the bills that the commission itself introduced. We have also tracked other bills that were ethics related. And we have provided those in prior meetings, but either the bills did not pass and they're no longer under tracker or aren't something that's been flagged in particular.
Okay, thank you for that, Robert. And then the other comment that I have then is I didn't see SB 2471, which was just signed into Act 11. That has to do with Citizens United and the dark money coming from PACs. And I would assume I would hope that the Ethics Commission would consider that to be an ethics related legislation. And the governor did sign it recently, again, into Act 11. So is that something that was just missed, or was that discussed in a previous meeting? Because that was just signed recently in May, I think May 14th.
Yes, that did get signed, and that is a bill that I did follow because it deals with the Campaign Spending Commission's jurisdiction. There's always maybe a bit of hesitance in jumping on bills that the sister agency has jurisdiction over. So I don't know if we've typically classified that as something the Ethics Commission would submit testimony on, for example, or advocate for or against, because again, there's sort of a sister agency that's kind of squarely their jurisdiction and not necessarily in our jurisdiction per se.
Okay, all right, that's a good explanation of it. I was just curious because it's such a big, seems like to be such a big deal. Hawaii is the first state to enact a bill like that, as far as what a corporation would be in artificial persons. Thank you for that explanation, Robert. I appreciate it. Mahalo.
Sure. Thank you for your comments, Mr. Smith. The next section is section 7, evaluation of Executive Director or General Counsel Robert D. Harris. Does any member of the public wish to testify on this issue?
I would, if I could, just make a comment that I highly respect Mr. Harris, and I've only had interaction with him at the last Ethics Commission meeting. I've only known him since then, and I think highly of him just from that one interaction in that meeting and speaking to him after, and also from the way he just answered my question. So that's my comments. Mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Are the commissioners ready to proceed with evaluation of Executive Director Harris? Yes. Okay. So the commission has completed an annual evaluation of Executive Director Harris's performance on the commission's Executive Director and General Counsel for the 2025 calendar year. Should I summarize the results or are we going to take this?
Chair, if you want me to just assist you in summarizing that, it's in the attachment in agenda item 7. Did you want me to assist you with summarizing?
I would love to have your assistance with this matter.
Okay.
As all of us have participated in the evaluation.
Okay, so in the attachment that is provided in the Sunshine materials, the Commission had completed its annual evaluation of Executive Director Harris for the 2025 calendar year, January through December. The overall score that was generated through the Commissioner's survey was 9.8 using a scale of 1 to 10. The Table A lists the averaged scores and compiled scores for each of the 9 categories. And then Table B provides the specific feedback and comments that were provided. The top 2 categories that were received a score of 10 were meetings and training and the education program. If there are any other further questions, I'd be glad to answer that.
Hey, are there any questions? Otherwise, this is a very exemplary report. 2 10s and meetings and training and educational program code should be not only attributed to Mr. Harris, but to the extensive staff work on this.
May I?
No,
That's okay.
sure.
I appreciate the comments and the feedback of the evaluation. I say this with some degree of humility. You know, I entirely agree with the chair that most of this reflects the stellar performance of the staff on the whole and the commissioners on the whole. This is probably a reflection more of a team level of effort. And, you know, I appreciate the fact that this is such a dynamic group, such a dynamic team that is really able to, I think, punch above its weight and sort of what it achieves. So thank you for the incredible comments. I'm not going to let it get to my head, but sort of recognize that it really is a reflection of the team. And again, that's, I think, accurate because the commission has the ability to hire the ED. The ED typically hires the staff. To some extent, this is an evaluation also overall how the staff at large is doing. So I think it's appreciated, recognized, but I also really want to direct most of the praise or comments back to the staff and say that, you know, this is a reflection that they're doing their jobs well. And, you know, let's keep it up and keep doing it even better next year. So thank you again for the support and for the comments. And, you know, always open from both the staff and from the commissioners on a one-on-one basis as well. If there is feedback, I appreciate it because I think it helps us all do our jobs better to get that constructive feedback, and I welcome it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been wonderful report and great progress. Do any commissioners have anything they wish to specifically comment on this time? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the final evaluation report of Executive Director Robert Harris?
I move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Commissioner Thielen,
Aye.
Commissioner Becker,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and Acting Chair Hong votes aye.
The architect.
Thank you. All right. May I have a motion to adjourn? There's a second? Second. Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Thielen,
Aye.
Commissioner Becker,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and Acting Chair Hong. I guess aye. Meeting is adjourned, but I would like to thank all the effort of everyone that's been involved in this process, and you know, and to commend the extensive work done by our previous chair, Westfield. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.